We all know the importance of being prepared. Out in the wild, I rely on my skills and my gear to survive. But what about when the unexpected hits closer to home? That's where prepping comes in. Having a well-stocked pantry is like having a survival kit for your kitchen. It's about resilience, self-sufficiency, and peace of mind. Now, many folks stock up on canned goods, and that's a good start. But let's be honest, surviving on beans and Spam for months on end, that'll wear you down faster than a jungle trek. We need to go beyond the basics. We need variety, nutrition, and a pantry that can sustain us not just physically but mentally too. This isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. We're talking about building a pantry that provides the energy and nutrients you need to face any challenge. So, let's ditch the eat to survive mentality and embrace a thrive no matter what approach. Let's get started. Out in the wild, protein is my fuel. It keeps me going when the going gets tough, and it's just as crucial for weathering any storm, even at home. Now, canned tuna and chicken are handy, but they shouldn't be your only protein sources. We're talking long-term here, and that means diversifying. Think about dried beans, lentils, and chickpeas. These little powerhouses are packed with protein and fiber, and they last for ages. Plus, they're incredibly versatile. Throw them in stews, soups, salads, or even grind them into flour. Next up, nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. These are nutritional gold mines. They're full of healthy fats, protein, and essential vitamins and minerals. And let's not forget about their shelf life. These bad boys can last for months or even years if stored properly. Remember, variety is key. Don't just rely on one or two types of protein. Stock up on a mix of these options to keep your meals interesting and your body fueled. Imagine this. You're hunkered down, the weather's rough, and you whip up a hearty lentil stew with a sprinkle of toasted almonds. That's not just survival food, that's a morale booster right there. And when you're out foraging for supplies, keep an eye out for protein-rich finds. You never know what you might stumble upon. Remember that time I ate a giant grub? Not my first choice, but it did the job. The point is, be resourceful, be prepared, and always prioritize protein. Carbs are our primary energy source, the fuel that keeps us moving. And when it comes to long-term food storage, we need carbs that can go the distance. Rice and beans are a classic combo, no doubt. But let's expand our horizons, shall we? Quinoa, for example, is a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids. Plus, it's got a nutty flavor and cooks up in a flash. Oats are another winner. They're packed with fiber, keeping you feeling fuller for longer. And don't forget about barley. This ancient grain is a nutritional powerhouse, rich in vitamins and minerals. Now, storage is key. Keep your grains in airtight containers in a cool, dry place. And don't be afraid to get creative in the kitchen. Use your grains to make porridge, bread, crackers, or even granola bars. Remember that time I had to survive on a diet of mostly insects for a week? Not exactly gourmet, but it taught me the importance of resourcefulness and making the most of what you have. These grains may not be as exotic as roasted tarantula, but trust me, they're a lot more palatable. And they'll provide the sustained energy you need to get through any challenge. So, stock up on those long-lasting carbs, experiment with different recipes, and remember, a well-fed prepper is a prepared prepper. We all know fruits and veggies are essential for a balanced diet. But how do we make sure we're getting enough when fresh produce is scarce? That's where the magic of preservation comes in. Dried fruit is a classic choice. It lasts for ages, and packs a concentrated punch of sweetness and nutrients. Think raisins, apricots, mangoes, nature's candy. Now let's talk about vegetables. Freeze-dried options are great, but they can be pricey. A more budget-friendly option is dehydrating your own. Slice up carrots, zucchini, even spinach, and pop them in a dehydrator or a low oven. You'll be amazed at how much flavor they retain. And here's a secret weapon: powdered milk and powdered eggs. They may not sound appetizing, but they're incredibly shelf-stable and provide essential nutrients. Use powdered milk in baking or to fortify your morning oats. And powdered eggs? Scramble them up or use them in baking. Remember, variety is key. Don't just rely on 1 or 2 types of preserved produce. Stock up on a mix of options to keep your meals interesting and your body fueled. Imagine this. You're hunkered down, the weather's rough, and you whip up a hearty lentil stew with a sprinkle of toasted almonds. That's not just survival food. That's a morale booster right there. And when you're out foraging for supplies, keep an eye out for protein-rich finds. You never know what you might stumble upon. Remember that time I ate a giant grub? Not my first choice, but it did the job. The point is, be resourceful, be prepared, and always prioritize protein. It's the building block of survival, no matter where you are. Spice up your life. Conquering flavor fatigue in long-term food storage. Let's face it, surviving on bland, boring food for months on end, that's a recipe for disaster. We need flavor, excitement, and a touch of culinary adventure, even in the face of the unknown. That's where our secret weapons come in. Spices, herbs, and all things delicious. Think about it. A dash of garlic powder can transform a bland bowl of beans into a culinary masterpiece. A sprinkle of oregano can turn a simple tomato sauce into an Italian fiesta. Stock up on your favorites: cumin, chili powder, paprika, thyme, rosemary. The possibilities are endless. And don't forget about salt and pepper, the cornerstones of flavor. But here's the pro tip. Go beyond the basics. Experiment with different flavor combinations. Create your own spice blends. Get adventurous. Remember that time I made a fire-roasted lizard with nothing but a few foraged herbs and a sprinkle of courage? It wasn't pretty, but it tasted like victory. And let's not forget about texture. Crunchy nuts, chewy dried fruits, even crispy dehydrated vegetables can add a welcome contrast to otherwise monotonous meals. Remember, we're not just surviving here, we're thriving. And thriving means enjoying our food, savoring every bite, and keeping our taste buds entertained. So, spice up your life, experiment with flavors, and remember, a well-seasoned prepper is a happy prepper. Nutrient powerhouses, fueling your body for the long haul. We've covered the basics: protein, carbs, fats, and the importance of flavor. But when it comes to long-term survival, we need to think beyond mere sustenance. We need to fortify our bodies, boost our immune systems, and ensure we're getting all the essential nutrients we need to thrive. That's where nutrient-dense powerhouses come in. These are the elite forces of the nutritional world, packing a serious punch in a small package. First up, bone broth powder. This stuff is liquid gold. It's packed with collagen, amino acids, and minerals that support gut health, joint health, and overall well-being. Add a scoop to soups, stews, or even your morning coffee for a nutritional boost. Next, let's talk superfoods. Chia seeds, flax seeds, spirulina, chlorella. These are nutritional powerhouses loaded with antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. Sprinkle them on your food, blend them into smoothies, or get creative with your culinary concoctions. And don't forget about multivitamins. They're not a replacement for a healthy diet, but they can help fill in any nutritional gaps, especially in times of stress or limited food availability. Our bodies are our temples, and we need to treat them with respect. By incorporating these nutrient-dense powerhouses into our prepper pantries, we're not just surviving, we're giving ourselves the best chance to thrive, no matter what challenges come our way. Mastering the art of the prepper plate, creating balanced and delicious meals. We've explored the essential elements of a well-stocked prepper pantry: protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats, flavorful spices, and nutrient-dense powerhouses. But now comes the real challenge: putting it all together to create satisfying, nourishing meals that will keep us going day after day. Think of your pantry as a culinary toolkit. Each ingredient is a tool, and it's up to you to use your creativity and resourcefulness to craft delicious and balanced meals. Start with a foundation of protein and carbohydrates. Combine lentils with rice, quinoa with black beans, or chickpeas with barley for a hearty and satisfying base. Next, add a generous serving of vegetables. Whether you're using dehydrated options, canned goods, or frozen treasures, pack your meals with as much plant-based goodness as possible. Don't forget about healthy fats. Nuts, seeds, avocado oil, and olive oil add flavor, texture, and essential nutrients to your culinary creations. And finally, unleash the power of spices. Experiment with different flavor combinations, create your own signature blends, and transform your meals from bland to grand. Remember, prepping is about more than just survival, it's about thriving. It's about enjoying delicious, nourishing food that fuels our bodies and lifts our spirits, even in the face of adversity. So embrace the challenge, get creative in the kitchen, and remember, a well-fed prepper is a prepared prepper. We've journeyed through the essential elements of a well-stocked prepper pantry, exploring the importance of going beyond the basics to create a resilient and nourishing food supply. Prepping isn't about succumbing to fear, it's about embracing preparedness and self-reliance. Building a prepper pantry is an ongoing journey of learning, adapting, and refining your approach. It's about diversifying your food sources, prioritizing nutrient density, and mastering the art of creating delicious and satisfying meals from your stockpile. Now I want to hear from you. What are your go-to prepper pantry staples? Share your tips, tricks, and favorite recipes in the comments below. Let's build a community of preparedness, one pantry at a time.